So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very important segment where we talk everything real estate. So, the weekly real estate update with Usha Chandra of Globenet. With that, let's welcome to the studio, Usha.
It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of Globenet Realty, real estate is our world.
Having me on the show, Mesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you back here in the studio. And as we know, there's a lot happening out there still with the real estate market, and of course, talks about a slight change in the market might be the topic of the week. But could you please first of all give us an overview of the market?
Yes, let's have a quick look at what the housing market is doing. Housing values 1.5% higher in October as growth trends to ease and downside risk builds. Australian housing values rose 1.5% in October, a similar result to August and September. However, taking the monthly change out of the decimal point shows the market is continuing to slowly lose momentum. Since moving through the week, monthly rate growth in March was 2.8%. Nationally, the monthly growth rate eased at 1.49% in October and 1.59% in the previous month. Although nationally the headline growth reading remains virtually unchanged over the month across the board, Australian market conditions are starting to show some diversity.
So some diversity is being seen, and when they talk about a little bit of a change, it's not a big change. When you look at nationally, the monthly growth had eased to 1.49 from previously at 1.51 in the previous month. So it is one of the first signs, so this could be the sign of things to come across. So, looking at that, of course, we know that we always gauge our market by the number of auctions that are happening. So in that scenario, could you, before going into all the charts and the figures, just give us an overview of what's been happening in the auction scene?
Yes, over the 3,500 homes taken to auction across the combined capital cities last week, there were 3,524 homes taken to auction across the combined capital cities last week, overtaking the previous week of 3,019 homes were taken to auction, the second busiest auction week so far this year. This time last year, 1,747 auctions were held across the combined capital cities. So showing that there is double the number of auctions this year compared to last year. There have been 2,970 results collected so far, retaining preliminary auction clearance rate of 78.9%. In the line of the previous week's final clearance rate, which had revised down to a preliminary clearance rate of 81%. Over the same period last year, it was 71% that was reported auctions that were successful across the combined capital cities. So we can already see that it was 81% last week and 78.9% the previous week and 78.9% last week.
Well, that is what the market's doing, and it is quite a good indication. So what it shows is that the number of auctions have increased. And hence maybe that price eased a notch back, a decimal point only, but it's because the people have taken into account that the market is quite buoyant and they're trying to get the benefit of this market before the market sort of starts easing. So the activities are high, and hence the price slightly went down. So looking at all of those, what does it tend to give us as a capital city auction stats?
Yes, let's have a quick look at Sydney first. 79.3% was the clearance rate compared to last year's was 73.1%. Melbourne was 77% last week and 70% the previous year. Brisbane was 76%, 76.8%, and previous year was 54.9%. Adelaide was 86.5%, and previous year was 68.5%. Perth was 46%. Perth, looking at Perth was better last year compared to this year in auction results. Canberra was 90%, 90.3% compared to last year's 80%. So average, and looking at average of 78.9% compared to last year's 71%. Let's have a quick look at the apartments and the houses. Sydney was 1,144 compared to last year's, the clearance rate was Sydney was 1,144 homes, Melbourne was 1,739 homes, Brisbane was 242 homes, and Adelaide was 236 homes sold. Perth was 20, Tasmania was 3, and Canberra was 140. So the total sales was 1,747.
So if you look at both those charts, it's quite good to look at now first the clearance rates, which we looked at, and then number two, the total auctions. The one that really stands out is the total auctions. So, this year 3,524, as was reported in your the first chart. So, that's quite a great number compared to 1,747 at the same time last year. So that's what the difference is that the number of auctions that have come on the market has greatly outweighed what was last year. So people are taking advantage of this situation, and that's why the first chart in here is showing the clearance rate. The second is the total number of auctions. So it's quite good to see that quite a lot of auctions are happening. And of course the clearance rates are pretty good, except for what you mentioned about Perth, where last year the clearance rate was slightly better than this year. So it's quite interesting, that chart there as well. So right now, having had a look at that, let's go to the actual stats of all the cities in auctions.
Yes, let's have a quick look at Sydney. The clearance rate was 79.3%. Total number of auctions was 1,144, and the clearest auctions were 790. And let's have a quick look at Melbourne. 77.4%. Sydney is a little bit down. It was 81.1% last result, and Melbourne has gone a little bit up, 77.4%. 1,739 properties were taken to auction, and 1,156 sold under the hammer. Very good results over there for Melbourne. Brisbane is 76.8%. Pretty good results there as well. 198 total number of auctions were 242 properties taken to auction, 152 sold under the hammer. Adelaide is 86.5%, holding very well there. Total number of properties taken to auction was 236, and 134 sold under the hammer. Perth was, as we mentioned before, 46.2%, pretty down over there. 13 properties were, 20 properties were taken to auction, and only 6 sold under the hammer. Tasmania was not applicable. 3 was taken to auction, and 1 sold under the hammer. Canberra was 90.3%. So Canberra has gone up again last week compared to the previous week. It was in 80s, and it's gone to 90.3%. Total number of properties taken to auction was 140, and total number of sales was 102 sold under the hammer. So looking at the average cities clearance rate was 78.9%, as we discussed before. 3,524 properties were taken to auction, and extremely good results, 2,341 sold under the hammer. So extremely good results there.
Well, there are very good results going by that chart. It is wonderful to see that, with the increased number of properties coming on the market under the auctions method, still the clearance rate has not changed, which is pretty good. So, of course, looking at the sales. We've looked at, both we look at private treaty and auctions. So what have been the overall number of listings, if you could go maybe city-wise?
Extremely good. Brisbane result is very good. 4,699 new properties were on the market. To date is 13,591. Sydney was 9,000, extremely high in Sydney. 9,283 homes were listed, new listings. Canberra was 770 new listings, and Melbourne was 10,914 new properties came on the market. So Melbourne is leading the way actually. Over 10,000 new listings were compared to 9,000 in Sydney and 4,000, almost 4,500 in Brisbane. Looking at Darwin, 216 new properties came on the market. Perth was 4,445, very similar results to Brisbane. And Hobart was 276 new properties. Adelaide was 2,049 new properties. So combined capital cities, the new listings were 32,652 new properties came up on the market in the major capital cities.
And that is wonderful to see that, the activities are quite high. So if you look at Brisbane, say, for instance, 4,699 new listings, that is amazing. That's a lot of listings right here in Brisbane. Well, the place that were really surprised was Canberra, only about 770. Well, of course, Darwin and Hobart, we know, both, the agents there would be starting with the 276 listings to say among everyone in there. Melbourne is doing quite well with the number of listings that, as you have mentioned before as well. Well, so moving on, we've looked at the auctions, and we always look at the private treaty as well, because there's lots of mums and dads who still believe in the private treaty. Now I'm not going to auction. So looking at that end of the scenario, what are the results in private treaties?
Yes, a lot of people still prefer to buy as private treaty. Let's have a quick look at the major capital cities. Sydney market, number of sales 1,119 properties sold on as private treaty, and the price is holding fairly steady. 1,050,000 is the average price there. Melbourne is 2,477 properties were private treaty sales, and 750 is their median price. Melbourne price is gone a little bit higher now as well, and Brisbane 1,204 properties were sold in the private treaty. 600 is pretty steady compared to the previous result as well. The previous result was 600 as well. Adelaide is 749 private treaty sales, and 540 is their median price, pretty steady there. Perth is not applicable at all. Hobart is 147 private treaty sales, and 750 is their median price. Hobart and Canberra and Melbourne is price is very similar, looking at 750 and 750 in Melbourne as well. Let's have a quick look at Darwin. 54 properties sold under private treaty. 597,500 is their median price. Their median price has gone a little bit higher as well. Canberra was pretty 50 properties sold under private treaty, and look at the price at auction. It was 750 was their median price, and looking at private treaty was getting higher. 883,000 is their private treaty sales. So it's obviously not always auction gets the best results, but private treaty compared to Canberra is 883, whereas Canberra's median price in auction was 750. Combined capital cities, 6,500 properties sold under private treaty, whereas 50% basically sold under auction method. So 781 is the median price. And let's have a quick look at units and apartments as well. Number of sales in Sydney was 1,242. 698 is their median price, gone higher a little bit as well. Melbourne is 1,156 apartments sold. 556 is their median price, is gone by $6,000 over there. 381 sold in Brisbane, and 411 is their median price. Brisbane price has gone down a little bit. Last results, it was 420 was their median price. Looking at Adelaide, 248 apartments sold under private treaty. 370 is their median price. We won't talk about Perth at the moment. Hobart is 37 and 505 is their median price. Darwin is 29 apartments sold, 415. Their price is quite steady as well. Canberra is 101 properties sold under private treaty in apartments. 525 is their median price. The price has gone down in Canberra in apartments compared where the houses have gone up.
Well, it is quite interesting to see that result. And if you look at Sydney, the median house price $1 million, and median price in apartments and units 698. Yes, and if you look at the number of sales, so 6,500 total number of houses and 3,194 units. So that's always, every week we've been maintaining that it's about 50%.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what it is on this week as well. Well, right now, what does all of that equate to? Auctions, private treaties, the number of listings that are available in the market. So, in summary, it would mean that we can always look at how long does it take to sell, and are vendors having to discount the prices? So, let's have a look at that if we could.
Yes, yeah. Looking at Sydney market, 23 days on the market. Previous week was higher days on the market. Vendor discount is minus 2.3%. Melbourne is 25 days, gone down as well. Minus 2% is vendor discount. Melbourne market is picking up fairly well now. Brisbane is 30 days and minus 2.5% is the vendor discount. Adelaide is 28 days, minus 2.8% vendor discount. Hobart is 23 days, no discount over there. Darwin is 49 days, minus 2.5% discount. And Canberra is 33 days, no discount there. Looking at units and apartments compared to houses, Sydney market is 29 days in apartments and units, and minus 2.1% is vendor discount. Melbourne apartments have been on the market for a longer period and their price is not that high either. It's 43 days and minus 2.3% discount, vendor discount. Brisbane is 40 days, minus 2.9%. As we mentioned, Brisbane market has gone down compared to the previous result. A little bit in the apartment sales, and it's taking 40 days to sell, and vendors are giving a little bit higher discount there. 34 days in Adelaide and minus 2.4%. Hobart is 20 days and no discount over there. Darwin is 32 days, no discount there either. Canberra is 39 days, minus 1.5% discount, vendor discount. So it looks like that a lot of people are not giving that much discount, but some of the areas, some of the major capital cities, the properties are sitting on the market for a little bit longer in apartments and units.
So that's what your opening remarks were about the market, showing a bit of diversity, not a lot, but just a tip. Yep, and some decimal points falling back. That's all. Okay, right now in this, the finishing and the concluding segment, if you could just give us an overview of the market in your area. The listings, the sales, upcoming auctions, and open houses.
Yes, our area is. We are getting a few more new listings. A lot of. We have got 2 auctions coming up this Saturday. One is in Brisbane Downs, and that's at 10 o'clock. The auction will be held at 10 o'clock. The open house is 9:30 on that one. And the second auction we have got on the same day is at 92 Roscommon Road, which is 1,187 square meter block. It's a splitter block with a very nice house. The prospective potential rent on that property currently will be at least about $750, $780. So it's ideal for investors who want to hold the property as a land bank and get some income out of it as well. And that's going to be auctioned at 11:30 on Saturday. And to top it up, our auctioneer will be Graham Quirk, the previous Lord Mayor of Brisbane, who will be doing the auction. And he's an amazing auctioneer, so I'm counting on a good result. result on Saturday. And then we have got another property at Aberdeen Parade. We have got a few offers on that property as well. And we listed another one at 65 Beams Road, which we sold within a couple of hours of listing the property. It was not even advertised on the net. It was just sent to the database who were on our database, and 50 inquiries came within 3 hours of listing, of sending the information to the database, clients on the database. And we had about 9-10 offers and sold on the same day at 500 cash. It's basically land value. And then we have listed another one at 112 Muller Road, and that's open today at 4:30 to 5 o'clock this afternoon. First open house. It's on the market for $699. It's on 827 square meter blocks. Currently rented for $450 a week. Ideal investment, about couple of minutes walk to Tigam Shopping Centre, to City Express. So that's the result for this week.
Well, it is wonderful to see no doubt about you, all during the week, rubbing shoulders with the Lord Mayor, having chats and dressing up lady mayors. And when you have auctions, who do you get? The previous mayor. Well, hats off to you, doing very well there. Well, right now, as you have spoken about all those results there, what's happening in the rental scene?
The rental scene is very quiet, actually. We have got only one rental, as I mentioned before. The rental market, there's a high demand of rental properties, and we have got couple of new properties coming on the market. Hopefully it will come on the market early next week, but at the moment the rental market is pretty quiet. So if anybody is looking for management, please contact Vicky on 38654466, or Vicky or Diane. They'll be able to help you and assist you in finding the right tenants. We have got a huge database of buyers and also tenants on our database. So please contact us on 38654466.
Well, it is wonderful to see that there's still a lot of demand. Now, one of the things that investors would be looking at is, because at this point in time, with the property prices going through the roof, how does it relate to the returns? The rental returns and the yield.
Actually, the rental returns are not that bad at the moment, because people are paying higher than what we are advertising. So the rental return is approximately about 5% in our area. So it's going pretty good. And we are looking at the capital growth of the property, not just the immediate returns. So that's what the investors are looking at. What will be their capital gains down the track? A rental return is extremely good at the moment, but the capital growth is the most important thing.
And very well said. Because it's the capital growth, not the immediate return. And of course, many people buy properties for many reasons, including some minimizing their taxes as well, is why people get into the investment property scenario as well. So there's lots of benefits in that. And I think you have rightfully mentioned there that people should not be just looking at what's coming in my pocket on a weekly basis. Rather, what would the capital growth be? And of course, with capital growth and other things, you should also consider the tax implications as well. So well done. Thank you so much for being on the show. A very informative session today. I really liked, discussing about the rental yields and returns, because the market, as we know, people are getting good prices for their houses that are being sold. But I just was curious to find out what the rental returns and yields would have been.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on the show, Mesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, until...
Globenet Realty. Globenet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of Globenet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. Globenet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. Globenet Realty. Real estate is our world.